What's up, guys? In this video I'm going to show you guys how to use Chessbase to study openings, use the computer, and hopefully learn new variations and new things to do. But before we get into that, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more great chess videos. So Chessbase is probably the #1 tool that all grandmasters will use. You're going to use it to save your games, you're going to use it to analyze positions, and you're going to use it to explore new variations of the opening and hopefully learn more openings and save it all on top. So let's start with this position, just for an example. So here, I'm going to start over here. So the reference tools, remember, if you click reference, give it a second to load, it will take a sec. But once you get there, it's going to give you all the games that have been played in this position, as well as the players. And if you click ELO white, it's going to organize the games in order of the highest rating for white. And if you hit ELO black, it'll do the same thing from the black side. So this way you can actually click on the games and then analyze or see what's going on. A lot of the games do come with notation or annotations, so you can really learn a lot by looking over these games. Now over here, what do these numbers mean? So 56.3%, that means white is doing slightly better in this position. So if white wins, that counts as 100%, and if black wins, that counts as 0%. So here, white is doing slightly better, and that's why it's 56. If you look at these two variations, black is doing slightly better with 48% or 33%, which means black's doing really well after the move Queen A5. So this is how you're going to kind of get an idea of what moves you should try. If the score for black is doing really well and you're playing the black side, you're going to want to check out that variation and look at the games or go deeper in that line with Queen A5. And now when you get here where there's 2 games, 1 game, 3 games, most of these are very random. You don't have enough of a sample size to really you can cross-check with the computer, but generally these you want to stay away from unless they're scoring really well and they're backed up by the computer. Now here, the computer. So this is going to give you the top basically 2 or 3 moves and kind of the evaluations with it. So if the computer says -1.70, that means black is doing better, and he's almost up 2 pawns. And if it's positive, like positive 0.1, then white is basically up a pawn. And that's the evaluation. So here, we can see Queen A5 is doing really well. So here, I would try Queen A5. Now, if you really want to be thorough, you're going to try all the different variations. And then end of the day, pick the best one. For me, if I find something I like, generally I'm not going to try too many different things. I'll try some other variations, but if I like it, then I'm going to stick to it. So here, Queen A5 check. Now, when you're playing these variations, when you're analyzing them, you want to kind of look at all the different possibilities white can do. Because when you play this, there's no guarantee white only plays this move. You got to look at all the different possibilities. So, for example, let's look at Bishop D2, the most common move. 19 games, 31%. Black's doing pretty well here. So after Bishop D2, the idea and the reason we go Queen A5 check is now we go Queen B6, and we hit the D4 pawn as well as the B2 pawn, and now black is doing super well. Let's say B3, for example, and now we can choose between the move, and this is where you want to use like your human common sense too. So this is a gambit opening by white. So what you want to do is you want to try to trade off more pieces. Yeah, you could throw an H5 too, but between C takes and knight takes, I would definitely go knight takes. Because if you go C takes, he's going to lock this up, and now he's going to use this knight to attack you. But if you go knight takes, you pretty much force him to take back, otherwise you take here, or you can even take here, and you have no bad pawn structure. So he takes, you take, and now you got rid of his attacker, and you're up a pawn. So this is going to be a win-win, and kind of the best way for black to play in this position against this kind of gambit. So let's say, for example, instead of Bishop D2, he goes Knight D2. Now the killer move here for black, and I used to play this variation, and I wasn't sure what to do, and then I put it in the computer, and I was like, whoa, Knight B4 is such a killer move. Because we hit C2, he cannot go Bishop D3 because C4, and now we're going to just be winning. So Knight B4, he has to go King D1, and I'll let you guys go deeper. I have a file saved where I do go deeper in this variation. I think C4 is supposed to be the best move, but there are other possibilities. And then we'll look at one more variation. For example, Queen A5 check, we go if they go C3, now we can take on D4, and the difference is he cannot ignore this pawn. Generally, when it's like this, let's say we take, he goes Bishop D3, and now this pawn eventually is going to pick up, but in this variation with Queen A5 check, C3, take, if he ignores it, if he goes Bishop D3, Now we have the option to take here, and now we're going to be up just a clean pawn. So what you would do is you're going to analyze all these variations. You're going to use the computer and the reference tool to see which one you like the best. And then at the end, after you're happy, you're going to save it. So you hit File, Save Game As, and just remember, always save them as PGNs. So you would just name it like blah, blah, blah. Change this, or I guess you guys can't see it. But when you're saving it, change it to a PGN. That way you can mail it to yourself or mail it to other people. And that's what you're going to do basically for all your openings. Your Sicilian, French, Caro-Kann. You want to slowly go through all the variations, save them on your computer, come up with the best variations, and then go try them out. And you're going to find this happens a lot. Like you think you have the greatest variation, everything's worked out, and then you play it, and then something goes wrong. And then you go back to the drawing board, and you just keep fixing and fixing and fixing until you come up with basically the perfect opening repertoire. That's kind of the end goal here. So this is how you're going to use Chessbase. You're going to use the reference tool. You're going to use the engine. You're going to save your games. You're going to be organized. You're going to make a bunch of different folders for all your different openings. And then you'll just keep growing and become masters at chess. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, let me know. And most importantly, hope you guys were entertained.